Sherri Ina Bausch is a multidimensional energy practitioner, light language channel, artist, and transformational coach who works deeply in the quantum field. She intuitively helps people connect the dots of their energy to bring forth rapid, positive shifts for living in their true alignment and wellness. Sherri's passion is supporting the release of trauma, negative blocks, mindsets, and beliefs so that individuals can accelerate into deeper creativity and embodiment. Her clients include starseeds, creatives, empaths, awakening souls, and professional women struggling with autoimmune disorders such as relapse-remitting MS. Sherri also channels the galactic realms for starseeds through art, bringing through pen and ink star maps with information about starseeds' mission here on Earth. And I've got one, and it's phenomenal. So we want to welcome Sherri back to A Night at the Roundtable.
Hi.
Welcome back, my sister.
Thank you so much, Caroline. It's so great to be back here. I'm excited for tonight.
Oh, it's
Hello,
wonderful,
everybody. Yeah.
wonderful to have you. Absolutely wonderful to have you. So again, I want to encourage people to call in. Now, there's a few issues that I would like Sherri and I to work on that I know are extremely common to light bearers right now. So I know she's wonderfully supportive of that. So we're just going to work on that for a bit. But please do call in to ask a question. And, you know, it's just beautifully important to take advantage when there's this kind of support. A lot of people kind of hesitate, like, oh, I don't know, will this be too weird a question or something like that? Or is this something that I don't really want to talk about? You know, you can give your nickname if you don't want to give your first name, that sort of a thing, but just be open to receiving support that is here for you. And sometimes even when people feel nervous after they're called, they're really glad that they called. So, you know, if you're having a problem, maybe you just feel a big energy block with relationships, with money and other forms of abundance, with how you've been feeling about your family or a health issue or something. And that sort of thing, we're more than happy to deal with, because Sherri and I do sessions all the time where people share their soul and they just let us know what's going on with them. So again, this is for the live show, of course. The numbers to call for station 1 are 888-627-6008. That's 888-627-6008. Or you can call 323-744-4831. That's 323-744-4831. So, all right, fantastic. So, all right, Sherri, my friend, you know, something that I see a lot, that you probably see a lot as well, is people will say, and I've seen this for several years, they're feeling this beautiful energy coming in and they're starting to remember, oh, we're supposed to be joyful, which I have been feeling as well lately, and kind of wondering, many of us have been wondering, well, what's going on that I can't seem to find my joy anymore? I don't seem to have much vitality. I don't seem to feel very joyful about life. There goes a putty tat.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's kidding, I know. You know, there seems to be a stuckness. And what do you feel is at the base of that? I mean, anybody's input is valuable on that, but I'm wondering what you see there when people come to you with that.
Well, I mean, obviously we're in very chaotic times, and I think it's sparking up in us all of the eons of struggle in the human, you know, the human existence. We're here to balance, to learn how to balance that struggle, and to be spiritual beings in this human experience. And I think that because the light is so intense coming on the planet and the electromagnetic fields are so intense, that it can't help but illuminate, right? The light always illuminates these periods of time when we really did struggle and we really are challenged. And to that, I would say to just surrender. I know that's hard, but the more that we can surrender and just kind of take a deep breath and just imagine yourself actually dropping literal suitcases or baggage and just dropping it into the ocean or into a body of water and just feel that relief and just feel that with your burdens and that's those struggles and those challenges. I find that visualization now works really well at this period of time, to release some of that heaviness and some of that darkness. I don't know if that answers your question, but
well, no, those are great insights, because you're pointing out that the light coming in simultaneous to it, waking us up, reminding us we're here to feel joy. It's also bringing up a lot of old pain.
yes.
And showing us where the blockages are, which sounds kind of crazy, but that is exactly what's happening.
Yes.
And I love your idea about the visualization. Some days, I mean, I'm just transformed by a good meditation, a guided meditation. It doesn't have to be very long.
Absolutely.
But it takes me to where I can work with something in metaphoric form. And then, like you say, putting that baggage down.
Yeah, and because we're creators, that's the other thing that's coming up. We're able to create things much faster, right? And manifest much faster. So visualization, just practicing that, or what we would call visualization, is actually creating in the field. We're creating in the field. Every time we think, feel, act, especially when we think and feel. So the more we can really focus on that joy and step into that joy feeling, I'm finding, like, if you can just pull yourself out for even a second and then just practice that, then you're starting to create more of that, right? And you're not giving energy to the other. So
yeah, that's interesting. Now, for you, what will, as Marie Kondo says, spark joy? What sparks joy?
Yeah, there are simple things these days. Nature just totally lights me up. So being outside, because I'm behind a computer a lot too, I find just walking, even if it's a rainy day, I find that brings me joy, because I just really connect with Gaia and nature, and I just feel very grounded. So that's the number one thing. Number two would be just seeking out members of the tribe or friends. Like you and I connect all the time, because we just have to kind of, like, we're batting it back and forth, like, are you feeling this? Yes, I'm feeling this. What is this? Just getting that support. And then honestly, just not even meditation so much anymore, because you and I have spoken about this. It's kind of hard to meditate these days, because there's a lot of energy chatter. But just moving the body, so taking a walk or yoga, anything, tai chi, bicycling, anything, running, if you really like a little bit of more vigorous exercise. But that really helps a lot, and I feel really good with that. And that's my type of meditation. Like, that's, for me, that's where I visualize and create a reality and see the world as I want it to be, while I'm moving. That's just how I do it. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. It's a kind of like a walking meditation, where you just have to be fully embodied in that moment. And I know you help people to feel more embodied. And that can be maybe a little scary sometimes with people, because being embodied is hard. They maybe came out of their body because of trauma.
Yes.
So being fully there is so intense,
Yes. Yeah. And these energies kind of mimic that too. They're kind of mimicking the anxiety or the fight or flight response too, that really kind of sparks that up in people. So that can be very triggering. The energies can be very triggering as well. So kind of having that knowledge and knowing that, okay, I'm triggered. I feel like I'm triggered all the time. What's kind of what I would call backward design, kind of tracking back. Okay, what am I feeling now? Why am I feeling that? Okay, what does this remind me of? And trying to kind of go backwards. And that can often be helpful to relieve the stress a little bit and the trigger trauma. Yeah.
Yeah, excellent.
Flight response that you might get from, say, being with family members, being with friends, maybe not feeling so connected, saying something and having someone react, or vice versa. So I'm going to ask that we all just kind of settle in, just that Caroline was running this beautiful meditation before I came in, or as I came in, and just really finding that central channel of your energy, which is from the top of the head all the way down through the third eye, just as this divider through your left hemisphere and right hemisphere of the body. And being very mindful and aware of your breath as you inhale all the way up that central channel, and then exhaling down. And finding, as you're expanding the breath on the inhale and the exhale, finding that space of the root chakra. So that space between the hips, feeling the connection with the seat, finding the sits bones, feeling the weight of that, not necessarily density, but the weight. Feel yourself as a tree connecting the roots. Yeah, there we go. Good. And a lot of times when we are triggered, it's in the heart, starts in the heart, or in our, they call it the second brain. I actually call it the first brain, the vagus nerve, right at the sacral in your stomach. So yeah. So just really breathing into those two spaces, deepening and slowing the breath down. And just feeling this beautiful, beautiful rose gold light coming in from Mother Mary. Dropping the shoulders as you exhale. And then finding Archangel Michael just coming up to the center of the chest and the heart space, middle of the heart. So you have these two beautiful energies, beautiful presence of love and compassion. Just filling that space, expanding. Just from a small blinking light into this beautiful expansive ball of energy. It's allowing that to really dissolve all of the nervousness, all of the rapid heartbeats that comes with those triggers, all of that feeling of, like Caroline was talking about, not wanting to be in your body. So as you feel, and if you feel like you don't want to be in your body, you come to these spaces, just pull that energy back in. See, just call it back, call your energy back. See those ribbons of light, sparks of light. Letting them know that you understand why they went out. You understand why they have a hard time staying with you. And seeing them come back into the heart space and into the sacral, and joining Archangel Michael and Mother Mary, becoming part of that. Yeah, there we go. Just feel everything just really relaxing and integrating. Feels like coming home. Feels like a nice big warm hug. Feels like a nice warm blanket or your comfy bed. Beautiful. And then just handing everything over that might still be there, that residue, to Archangel Michael and to Mother Mary. And feel when you hand that over and you surrender that and let it go, feel their light just expanding exponentially, actually out through the boundaries of your body, encapsulating you with this beautiful rose gold and blue light, which becomes this beautiful lavender color as they merge and meld. Just like a nice little cocoon. Beautiful. I'm even hearing, why was I even triggered in the first place? Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah. Because often these are things that we no longer need to hold on to. And so you might have an inner child version coming forth. And you can let that inner child version know that they don't need to hang on to that anymore. You have it. You got it under control. Beautiful. Just pulling that inner child in, calling your energy back, bringing your focus to the root again, taking some deep breaths, and then as you're ready, opening your eyes.
Beautiful. Really powerful. Thank you so much, Sherri.
You're so welcome.
What I was seeing as well, was that what people feel, what they attribute to what they, the pain that they've been through in this life, they tend to attribute it to, well, this happened and then this happened. And really it goes back eons. I was seeing fragmentation that goes back, even before like there were that many people on the earth. Incredibly ancient. I was, fragmentation and feelings of loss. That extends to the soul. And I just want to reassure everybody, what Sherri is offering, and what I was backing her up on as well is that, not that she needs a backup, but the connection to the higher self and the soul, in the sense of, well, now we're going to heal that fragmentation on the soul level. And now we're going to call back, as Sherri is saying, all the parts of ourselves. I don't think people realize, we travel so much etherically in our sleep state. It's just astounding.
Yes.
Our pal Bonnie Sartori will talk about this. In the morning, call yourself back in, because parts of yourself are still probably out there wandering. And some people's spirits, I think, maybe 80% of that is just out still in the universe. It's sort of like, well, I'm tired of this earth. And they are sort of anticipating ascension and anticipating being 5D and having a very, very fine, not a dense material, very fine material for the body, and such that, they can just dematerialize in a second. And I completely understand that. And yet we're here to finish this ascension journey, and we can't leave our bodies quite yet. In fact, the embodiment part is so important. How do you work with people on that? Is it similar to what you just led us through?
It is. And you make such a good point about, we're always traveling in these different realms, right? There is no time. The quantum is infinite. So that can be mind blowing when you think about how many different spaces we can exist in, and I'll say fractal. I usually use that for like the lack of embodiment, but you make a really good point, Caroline. And so, what I usually do is, and over time too, it's best, energy work works. How do I say it? We can have the best of intentions, but energy work will go where it needs to go, So sometimes many parts will come back at one time. And then maybe another session, one part will come back, or no parts will come back. Usually there's always some kind of parts that come back for embodiment. But in the field, when I work with people, I can definitely feel when there's an aspect of them, and it may not be them here in this reality, like I'm speaking to you. It may be another aspect from another reality or another part of them that is kind of freaking out energetically, like because they know they have an issue that has to be resolved. And so I can see the energy and I can feel their energy bouncing around. I can literally see pieces of them wanting to leave, wanting them to not be present in the session. And so it's like, gonna lasso that back in and bring them back in and let them know that it's safe to be here. Like you were saying, it's safe you're here, like that part of them showed up for a reason, because they're ready to clear whatever it is that is causing them to feel not embodied or fractaled. So it's interesting. Yeah.
That is fascinating. I love that. It shows how thorough your work is, and that you so go past the surface, very, very many thousands of miles past the surface down to what's really going on. And do you see interferences as well? I see interferences from various people, influences, past lives, entities, ancestors.
Yep. All of it. Yeah, I can see devices and mechanisms that might have been kind of stuck in there to keep things replicating or going. Discarnates and spirits, galactic agreements. A lot of agreements and contracts will show up. Spells and curses too, and especially in the ancestral lines, which is kind of interesting. It's fascinating work. It's so much fun to be able to see, but it sure makes it, as you and I both know, quick work, quick clearing, in other words. Yeah.
That's marvelous. I just want to remind people that, Sherri is here to help if you want to call in, and she is deeply psychic. And if you want to know what is this weird block separating me from, name it, whatever it is that you're struggling with, abundance or love or some kind of reassurance, or you feel like you've never really found your life work, she's able to look in there and see it.
Absolutely.
So another issue I'm wondering, could we work on is something that, I watched a webinar with all these different relationship coaches a few days ago that was terrific, absolutely brilliant. And the common theme a lot of them drew up is that a lot of women are very afraid, and this is true of men too, very afraid to open their heart space. They closed it at some point, because it just got too painful, or they actually affirmed, all right, if I can't have this person, all right, I just won't love anybody ever, ever, ever again. And I actually did that when I was 18, when the boy I was dating broke up with me, and I had to reverse that. And I'm not sure that sort of oath, or whatever you want to call it, vow I took to never love someone again actually took root completely. I think I kind of erased it, at least partly, but for a lot of people, it stays in place. And this is something interesting, that old oaths and vows do stay in place. And you were talking about curses staying in place too. If somebody says to you, I curse you and all your descendants, that could be for the next 1,000 years.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yes.
Often.
Yes.
Riding through the universe, and it's just there. So I'm wondering, could we do a process to help people open their hearts? And all I would say to people is, if this is you, just say yes and be very present with it. And if you want, bring up that feeling like it's just not safe to trust again. I never choose the right people. Look, we've all felt that, pretty nearly all. I know very few people who marry young and make the perfect choice at that point.
Absolutely.
It's a growing, ongoing process. So
absolutely.
Why don't we go to that?
Okay.
And I'll do the opening, and then you come in as you wish.
Okay.
What I'm going to ask is that people just go deep into their heart space, make yourself tiny. And so now you're in this big heart. And there's a beautiful light in front of you. And I would encourage everyone to follow this, even if you think you don't need to, because something has affected you at some point that was difficult. Mm-hmm. There's a beautiful light in front of you, but you can only see a bit of it. It's you're looking through a doorway that's only a tiny bit open, or maybe halfway open. And just start to walk toward that door. Ask yourself, why can't I open the door completely? And let a lot of answers come up. You might want to write it down, but just immediately. The bad thing that'll happen if I open up my heart completely, what's going to happen next is, and fill in the blank, list 3 or 4 things that's going to happen, list 5 or 6. Right now, list that in your heart mind.
I'm going to clear out all there's a little bit of resistance, Caroline, as you're talking. I'm just going to clear it out.
Okay, thank you so much. So you're listing all those things that are in your way. You're just protecting yourself. Your ego mind is protecting you. This is too difficult. And you might want to start tapping through the points, the inner eye, the outer eye, under the eye. This is too hard. Under the nose, it's too chancy. Under the lower lip, I don't know. My luck has been really bad. Collarbone, it's too hard for me. Under the arm, it's just too chancy. Top of the head, I don't want to be made a fool again. Inner eye again, keep going. Spit out all those reasons. You're going to open that door a little wider, just a little bit wider. Keep tapping. Under the eye, under the nose, keep saying it. It's too hard. I'm afraid. I've made too many mistakes. The door is opening a little wider now. Now you're noticing the whole doorway is getting bigger, and the room is receiving so much light. There's a lot of beauty in that room you've never seen before. It's not a plain room. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a classical structure. It's full of beautiful objects. And the light is golden and brilliant. There's a rosy glow to things. Keep opening that door wider and wider. Keep tapping through the points. Collarbone, under the armpit, top of the head. Keep tapping. Let the tears come up if they're going to. I'm just going to open that door a bit wider. Go ahead, Sherri Ina, if you see something.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we've got a massive, just beautiful, massive amount of light coming through the spine from behind. This beautiful green emerald gold, just really flushing out the heart space. And there's a lot of the resistance that I'm feeling, that I'm hearing is I'm seeing this like a kind of busting that gush is just busting open the walls of the heart space, the doors of the heart space. And it's just like, I can't do it because I'll be hurt again. The betrayals, the bitterness, there's a lot of bitterness coming out here from the sacral as well. So we're going to just dissolve all the bitterness, all the betrayals, all the trust that was broken, all the mistrust in self after trust was broken or betrayals. We're going to collapse that, all of that. So all those experiences that you might have had with love or lost love, unrequited love, grief, tons of grief coming up right now, sadness, just letting that flush out. We're going to collapse all of those experiences across space-time, dimensions, realities, black holes, wormholes, stargates, portals, holograms, simulations, seen and unseen, known and unknown, all of the quantum infinitum. Just see it kind of collapsing in this beautiful cord of light and then just blasting out into the ethers, exploding into white light, coming back to you in your heart space as full on compassion, love for self, trust. And I'm going to just ask that all the higher beings in your higher selves, for everyone here on this call and the replay, that you be shown the lessons that you have learned in lost love, and how much that's prepared you for this love of your life, or this connection with the loved one, how much that's prepared you, how you are ready to receive. That light that we brought back into your heart space is just exploding, expanding your heart space, opening up, dissolving any mindsets, any thought patterns or habits that are holding you back or sabotaging you. And they're just expanding into pulling the light in, pulling that lover in, pulling that partner in, who's just right for you in a healthy, functional relationship, bringing them forward. Yeah, beautiful.
You can see someone walking toward you now, toward that open door. This is the perfect person for you. And you do not have to know what they look like exactly. You feel their heart space. You feel the beautiful presence. They're so full of love and respect for you. They're your best friend. They are absolutely a soulmate in the highest sense. You've known each other before. You've always been positive and supportive of one another in other lives, and this life, all the more so. You're going to forge the perfect connection with this beautiful being.
Just dissolving any agreements, contracts, vows, promises, oaths.
Yes.
Now, where we did decide or proclaim that we would never love again, we never allow ourselves to get hurt again. Any spells, casts, or curses that ancestors might have placed on future generations, we're dissolving those and null and void, over, done. And then any karmic contracts that you might have had with the partners that are still karmic contracts that you might have set to never meet up again, even though so they might have been contracts out of duress, under duress, just dissolving all of that out, done, over, null and void.
Absolutely. Pick them up and toss them into that transmuting violet flame of Saint Germain. It's right here.
Absolutely. Yep.
Right here. Dissolves into pure light.
There we go. Good.
So vows, anybody you were married to, anybody you promised, anybody time you said, I'll never love again, or I'll only love you, or I'll love you forever. All those oaths, all those vows into that beautiful violet flame.
Anytime you want to know yourself, without partnership, being single, and you've been longing for that and wanting that and desiring that and knowing that you can have that. So we're going to bring that in as well. So all the lessons have been learned. It's time to start attracting that. Yeah. Beautiful. Very different energy now.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
I feel that people are more relaxed and more open.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Margie from Tennessee on line 1. Are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Wonderful. And Gay, please do call back. No worries. So Margie, how can Sherri Ina help you today? And I'll do what I can do.
Oh my goodness. My husband passed away about 3 weeks ago, and I'm still kind of like in a space that I'm not sure what I'm doing at all. I mean, I miss him and everything like that, but he had suffered so much, I didn't want to see him suffer anymore.
Gosh. Oh, I'm so sorry, Margie, for your loss. And can we work with your heart space a little bit just to kind of soothe it a bit and
Yes.
center
Yeah.
you? Okay, let's do that. Yeah. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So Margie, I'm just going to ask that you bring your awareness to start with in the root chakra, just like we kind of did when we were dealing with the trauma piece. And just feeling that beautiful violet flame that Caroline speaks about. Bring in, just feeling Saint Germain. I'm going to ask that Mother Mary comes in. She has a beautiful presence. And Kuan Yin, just for self-compassion and self-love. Yeah, and your guides are actually saying to please give yourself, and Misu Ukuria, please give yourself the time that you need. Misu Ukuria to hold whatever you need to hold. Misu Ukuria Shani Itia Karyaso to Inama Adintiaso. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, good. And just finding your breath. Nice and easy. Beautiful energies coming into the root chakra and just growing up through the energy centers into the heart. There we go. And just finding that heart center. Just going to bring in Mother Mary's rose gold light. Nisu and Maha Turiya Shakia Tarian Kitanama Oturina Edia. And just see that really, really coating your heart space, moving through the walls of the heart. I actually feel your husband's presence too. It's beautiful, really nice. He's on your left side. Left side is the feminine side, the allowing side. So that's really beautiful. It's like he's holding space for all of this. On the other side, which is really beautiful. Yeah. I'm getting chills. So just allowing. Yeah. Beautiful. Is it okay to bring messages through from him? Is that all right?
Sure, that's fine. Thank you.
Sure. What would you like to say? Bringing a big old hug through on the left side. Says you're doing great. Awesome. Should feel his energy just coming through and kind of imbuing through your space. I keep hearing, forgive me if this doesn't resonate. I keep hearing sweetums. I don't know. I just see it's like a little playfulness going on, like he's just trying to kind of get you to laugh and be joyful. Remembering the good times. He's asking you to remember the good times. Because he's always there with you. He's always right there. He says, I'm right here. Yeah. Good. Wow. Yeah. I'm right here. Yep. Beautiful. Right in your solar plexus. So solar plexus is always that place of your power, how you show up in the world. And it's almost like he's asking you to really just, to be aware and to be, how do I want to say it? Meshuin, help me, please.
He's saying the love is still there. That doesn't change.
Yeah. And it's like, don't lose yourself in the grief.
Yeah.
To really hold yourself in the beauty that is you. Beautiful. Oh, that's gorgeous. You just had this beautiful ray of light going right down the center line of your energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hearing you have great talents too. There's some talents. I don't know why they're letting you know that, but maybe that's his reminder to you. They're saying immense talents. To perhaps use that as the fuel to work through and integrate the sadness or the grief or missing him. You have a big heart too. Let's just pull in your energy a little bit more. And just feeling that ray of light going up through the center line, and then we'll close it down a little bit. Would it just take that line of energy with Mother Mary and Kuan Yin for that compassion for self, giving yourself the time again, they're reminding you, however it needs to flow for you. And then we're going to anchor that down into the crystalline core of the earth and just allow that to stay with you as you move through this process, this transition process for yourself and for him.
Yeah.
And just shielding and protecting your light. So you're not taking on too many other energies while you're going through the process.
Yes.
Beautiful. How does that feel, Margie?
Oh, it feels really, 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 really different.
Good. Good.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm so glad.
I normally would have felt him. You know, I do that, and I hadn't since he left, and I wasn't sure what was going on. If he was just processing still. I have bronchitis and I don't feel good, so that could be part of it. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I think your body is telling you it needs to slow down and heal, and just know that he's always with you, and eventually you will feel him. You'll feel him for sure. Yeah, good. He's there with you all the time. Beautiful presence.
Margie, I also got from your spirit guides very early on that you're not supposed to do anything right now. Just rest. Recover from the illness. Yes. Be kind to yourself. If it takes months, to recuperate from the loss, if it takes a year or two, that's all right. That's all right. Take the time.
Yep.
Okay. It's kind of, it's always a shock. You never know.
Yeah.
He'd been sick for a long, long time, and I was actually to the point where I felt. When he left, I felt kind of relieved because I didn't want to watch him suffer anymore.
Of course.
That pain look in his face, that I don't think anyone wants to do that. So
absolutely. Yeah, when I say he's probably doing a lot of work on the other side for humanity too, and he's not suffering anymore. So he's clearly guiding you as well. Oh, I'm hearing that he could be your guide as well. He could be one of your guides.
It could be. Yeah. I asked for something, and I got a little golden ball, and that was what I saw. So that was it.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for calling in.
Yes, thank you, ladies, very much. I enjoy listening to both of you.
Thank you. Much love to you, Margie.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm just sending so much love and so much light, Margie. Anyone who's experiencing the path of grief, which is a very intense road.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
Very, very intense. Yeah, part of life, but very hard. So I don't know if Rachel is still on line 6, Rachel from Minnesota. Again, we made
can you hear?
Oh, wonderful.
Great.
Hi, Rachel. Have you got a question for Sherri Ina or any issue you'd like to talk about?
Yeah, sorry, I'm feeling a little teared up after she just hung up. But I would say the last month, I've been on a healing journey for a while, and then the last month, a lot of digestive issues have come up, really moody and fatigued, and I know it's some kind of old block that I'm letting go of. Like at the beginning of the call, you guys mentioned eons. And I talked with another healer a couple days ago, and she was like, oh, there's something you've experienced that's a crazy trauma that wasn't on this plane. So I'm kind of wondering if there are any insights to help me release and move through whatever's been going on.
Sure. Let's take a look. I'm just going to ask you to close your eyes and kind of drop into the digestive stuff for me. So in other words, just kind of feel the symptoms and then how you feel when that's going on. Right. And then once you're there, I'd like you to kind of give it a quality. So an emotion. What is the emotion of the symptoms? Not necessarily what the symptoms cause, but if you had to give the symptom an actual emotion or a quality, and a quality. So the emotion and the quality could be anything from like heavy metal, steel, it could be dusty, it could be kind of entangled web. Just kind of really kind of drop into that.
Out of control was the first thing I heard. Like fear, anxiety, and like I see like waves, but when you said like a web, it kind of feels like it's complicated, but it feels like waves of like up and down, in and out, kind of chaotic energy.
I was just going to say, I'm getting chaos, and I just saw, you mentioned waves, but I actually saw dark water. I'm getting chills. Okay. So to me, it's feeling very root, and of course sacral, which is your emotional center, sexual center too. But there's something has to do with your actual sense of physical safety. That seems to have maybe shown up in eons ago, like you were saying, karmically. So I just want to know, I want to bring in your guides. Yeah, let's bring them all in. The ones that know what needs to clear, the ones that are going to help us identify the karmic field, please bring those in. Oh, yeah. It's dark. It's way back there. Ancient, they're saying. Show me all the planes, please. Very possibly, like between the galactic and so ancient, but very possibly between the Earth and galactic planes. So in other words, it's like it feels almost like an astral plane, or some unseen portal. It feels like you're trapped, actually. Yeah. Trapped in the chaos. There's a lot of destruction, a lack of safety. Bringing forth, so we're going to bring forth all of the experiences before, no, that's the first one. Bringing forth all the experiences that have the same energy of this across all of her experiences, realities, dimensions, timelines, black holes, wormholes, simulations, holograms, quantum field, all of it. Anytime she felt unsafe, her physical safety was, being threatened. Yeah, I'm seeing some dark stuff. Torture. I actually see you kind of trying to get away and not being able to leave. So kind of being trapped. So we're going to clear that out. And it doesn't feel like you're human. It feels like another species. I'm not could be reptilian. Yeah. Out. The agreements, contracts, vows, or promises she made. It feels like you were led there. And then you were not allowed to leave. It might be some type of betrayal, or agreement that you made, or like but something went bad. And sometimes these stories sound crazy, but it's like, I want all the tethers, ties, binds, chains, and there's a ton of them. I want them all released, please. Bringing in the light. All released. Shining a massive amount of light just on all of them. Lots of tentacles, lots of connections to something, some big device, something. Imprisonment, enslaved. Out.
Yeah, I got that early on. It's being
held. Yep.
Job to just stay in that one spot.
Yep, you're being held hostage, something imprisoned. Out. Any discordant spirits, any of the off-planet stuff that's dark mechanisms, devices, experiments. I'm seeing lots of cords. Out, pulling the plugs on all of them. Chasing them out to the light, out. I want to explode that reality and all other realities, any copies, clones, duplications, replications of that reality. Anytime she was held hostage somewhere else with or without consent, all of that exploded into white light and sending that back out. It feels very, actually, second time I got reptilian. Out. I know there's other species in theirs too, but out. So I'm going to dismantle that from your sacral and from your root, especially the sacral. So we're going to come in with the violet flame because it feels super heavy, really heavy. And we're going to come in with the violet flame. Archangel Michael is going to come behind Saint Germain and just chopping off those cords, chopping off those chains, lots of big chains and binds, shackles, seeing shackles, out, releasing all of those, please. Yep. And then the violet flame, Saint Germain coming in to heal all those spaces because we don't want to leave those voids. Out. Disgust. I'm feeling disgust. Yeah, it is. There it is. Okay, there's terror, fear, all this stuff underneath that chaos, terror, fear. So kind of go, if you can, deeper for me, Rachel. Terror, fear, just totally distraught. Out. Just bringing in Mother Mary, bringing in Archangel Michael, releasing all of those feelings. Yep. Take a deep breath for me. There we go. Exhaling peace, exhaling safety. I'm going to run light through all of your digestive system too. Violet flame through there too. I'm hearing like IBS, that type of Crohn's. Calming the immune system, calming the fight or flight, the trauma system. And then any other experiences that might, in this experience, in this reality, that you might have that just feels super deep, that this might have been basically feeding, right? So this old eon stuff is feeding this experience. We want to disconnect all those cords and release all that, please. Out. There it goes. There it goes. Big trap door just released a bunch of stuff out. Yeah, it's beautiful. We're going to surround that with the light. It feels much calmer. Any agreements, contracts, vows, or promises, oaths that she made to know herself through that energy. Yeah, it's all done, over, null and void, out. Spells, cast, or curses, done, over, out. I want to just continue. We're going to close it up now. I know we have to finish, but I want to just set an intention for you that everything in those two energy centers continue to release with ease and grace, and just continue to realign and reset. So we're just going to bring in this blue panel of light running through your digestive system, your vagus nerve. Up and down, just plates of beautiful blue Pleiadian light. And just holding that in place and just running back and forth, just resetting everything to your original blueprint. Beautiful. How are you feeling?
Better.
Better. Yeah. Okay. Just calling back your energy too. Let's call back your energy. I would say there's more there. It feels like it's not totally complete, but maybe a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for calling, Rachel. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sherri Ina.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.
Really wonderful how you're able to see into the root cause of this. I could see a lot of what you were talking about, but I think you got even more details than I did, which is fantastic. Particularly, it's important to clear all these agreements, contracts, oaths, vows, all that stuff goes into that violet flame. 100%. I'm wondering if any of my co-hosts have a question for Sherri Ina or a comment. I'll just open up the panel for that.
Oh, this is Tara.
Hi, Tara.
Although I just wanted to tell you that, we all know we're all one, and I felt everything you did with everybody that you worked with.
Thank you.
I felt it in a really good way and deeply. And I mean, you worked on all of us.
Thank you. That's very true. We are all one. We are consciousness and all connected. And yeah, it certainly reaches everybody in some way, doesn't it? It's amazing. Even myself, I feel like I'm clearing myself every time I do a clearing. So
do you see the light increasing and a completion point so that we can be completely in the new timeline?
That's a great question. I definitely feel and see the light has won. And I think that these other timelines, these other dark agendas that are coming forth, they're just pulling out all the stops. But I see, how do I say it? I see them kind of messing with the timelines still.
Yeah.
And that's the part that I guess we all have to kind of stay on top of. The other piece is that because we are creators and we create our realities, it's so important, at least in my view, my opinion, that we stay positive with and create the timeline and stay super positive and super light as much as we can, because that's what they want. They want us to pull into the dark, and that feeds the timelines. That's how I see it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know about an end point. I think it feels like it's very soon. To me, it feels like we're on the precipice of that.
I kind of laugh because Rama goes out and he talks to what we call Faction 3 White Knights.
Yes.
And Rama comes back and I'm transcribing what they told him. And then Penny calls our typist, and she puts it in the computer. And at a certain point, Caroline said, Rama, how many times are you going to say the word soon?
Yes, and soon is relative, right? I mean, soon is relative.
It is.
Yeah.
I asked him to tell his contacts to please stop using that term, because a couple of them said it 2 years ago. Well, that isn't if you're human. OMG.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I would like to. I believe it's going to happen in our lifetime. I really do. I really do feel that, but I think it's going to take. It's what they say, critical mass. It's so important to stay positive and to envision your timeline, because that's why they're doing everything they're doing, because it's pulling us off of this timeline, which is the ascension and freedom and sovereignty and the new earth. And that's why they're pulling out all the stops, because it just keeps everyone pulled back into the old timeline. So
okay,
it's really
now you triggered another question for me.
Okay.
And Aurora Ray said it not too long ago. She's a galactic ambassador. There is this belief system, and a lot of the light beings are saying that everybody has to die, and that is not what I'm getting.
Not at all. I have never gotten that. I'm actually kind of surprised to hear that.
Well, you used some language there. You said, in my lifetime, we're going to see this in our lifetimes. And I'm saying, wait a minute, since we're not dying, that changes the timeline in that statement.
Yeah. Interesting.
It more solidifies that the change is going to come on the next, at least over the next 10 or 20 years. You
got to go through the shenanigans of these old characters for another 20.
No, I don't think it'll take that long. For one thing, time is speeding up, and another thing, the Earth, I don't think will survive 20 more years of their bad behavior, or even 10 more years of it. So I think it's all going to happen. I think everything's spinning faster and faster. It really is.
I don't think human beings can stand their behavior a whole lot longer. I think we're all coming to that tipping point. We're just, so many people are awakening, and yeah.
And I'm just going to say what I'm getting. I'm getting that the announcement of the law we call Nasara law, I feel it's going to be somewhere within a very close parameter of time. I mean, I don't see us going past this year. You know what Sarah is?
Yeah.
Sure. I feel like this year and next are pivotal.
Sometime before 2025. I've just been, something about 2024 has been sticking. I've gotten very clear signals about 2024, and I'm not quite sure why, but something about 2024.
Co-create together, Nasara, now, please. And I can let go of soon. Let's make it so now, that every now and moment we are doing Nasara, and we're living it right here, right now. Can we do that?
Yes.
Tara, this is Penny. You're stealing my thunder.
Okay, I passed the talking stick. Thank you so much, ladies. Beautiful.
I love it.
Wonderful. I just want to give Sherri Ina's website out, and that is sherribausch.com, and it's S as in Sam, Herri as in igloo, and then Bausch, B as in boy, AUS as in Sam, CH, sherribausch.com. And on Facebook, she's under Sherri Human Alchemy, and under Sherri Bausch on Instagram, and under Sherri Ina on YouTube, because you're switching over to the name of Ina, which I completely, it's so beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm calling her Sherri Ina at the minute just to help with the transition over. But yeah, it's very beautiful, and I think holds real meaning. It's very musical. Ina Nevea Lenora, is that right?
Correct. Yep. Correct. Yep. Yeah.
Charming.
Thank you.
I would really encourage people to look into Sherri's work. Yeah, and you can do a 20-minute exploratory sort of session with her where you just decide, is this right for me? You know, and then how do you do your group session?
The group session is through Patreon. Well, I have two ways I do it. I have the free energy sessions, which are 30 minutes every Wednesday. Right now, they're just kind of a live, whoever first come, first serve, kind of like we're doing here. And I work with two people real quick. And then I have the paid sessions, which are through Patreon, and they have two levels. One night, Tuesday nights, are sort of a real deep exploratory look at the multidimensional work, like super deep. And those for starseeds who are really looking to kind of be out in service and to go really deep and to develop their gifts, their psychic gifts and intuitive gifts. And then Thursday nights is a clearing, just like we did here as a group too. So if you go to my Patreon page, you can check that out. But lovely group of people, lovely community. So I'd encourage you to join if that's something you're looking for, a like-minded tribe. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. That sounds great. So they just go to Patreon. Tell me that part again.
It's patreon.com/ I change it. I think it's Sherri Ina now. Yeah. And you can find it on my website too. It's on my
website, sherribausch.com.
Yeah.
So our wonderful friend Vinayak, who was a co-host on the show for a number of years, he's on line one. Vinayak, I was hoping you would call in. Are you there, hon?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Wonderful. Yes. Excellent.
Hello, Caroline. Hello,
hello,
Emily, and hello, Sherri.
Hello, Vinayak.
Nice to be with you again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So happy you're here.
I just wanted to call in and recommend that the listening audience take advantage of Sherri's offer on Wednesday mornings. Do you do that?
I do.
With the two people.
Yes.
I've participated in that. I've received help from Sherri. I've worked with Sherri, and she is absolutely amazing, as you all have discovered here this evening or whenever you're listening to the show. And I just had a comment that, you know, the beautiful year of 2024 or 2024 is really not that far away. Yeah. And it is the year of abundance. It is the year of 8. And so it makes sense, Tara and Rama and everyone on the show, that this is going to be the announcement of Nasara about that time or before. So I just wanted to call in and let everybody know that I'm in complete alignment with the announcement of Nasara and the relief that that will bring to all of us. And it is indeed going to allow for this experience of oneness that you all have been talking about, as Caroline brought in with the meditation earlier. So, Sherri, I haven't participated on your Thursdays, but I'm sure it's a wonderful show as well. And once again, everybody, please do yourself a favor and allow yourself the gift of Sherri Bausch and her amazing work for clearing and her ability to see into the unknown, into the realms that you may not know of. So it's extremely helpful. So
Thank you
callers,
so much.
if you're out there, there's still time to call in, hopefully. And just wonderful to be back on the show for even a moment. So thank you, everybody, and much love.
Thank you so much, Vinayak.
Much love, Vinayak.
Yeah, much love. Thank you. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you.
So, well, it's where Sherri Ina is, it's 10:21. So, we probably let her off at this point.
Yeah.
And give her our profuse thanks. What astounding work. Absolutely beautiful. I feel like I grew and healed a lot from it. And I hope that our listeners did as well. And we'll share this on YouTube as well. I just wanted to say, for the live free clearing event, just go to live clearing and healing event on YouTube. And again, Sherri Ina's YouTube channel is simply under her name, Sherri Ina. And she just did one last night. So fantastic. Thank you so much for being here, my sister. Always a thrill. Please come back soon.
Thank you so much for having me. I just, every time I come back, I have like more fun. I don't know, this is a wonderful group of people. Thank you so much, everybody. And thank you, Caroline. It's always fun to work with you as well. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Have a great evening, everybody.
Thank you so much, sweetie. Much
Bye.
love.
Much love. Bye.